What's going on? It's your Council Poly Rob. Welcome to another episode of my Poly Rob podcast. I appreciate everybody liking and subscribing. And let's get right into it. The 2026 Grammys. I have to say, we're going to talk about all of the winners. But first, before I get to any of that, and before I get to the rap categories, because we're gonna do rap, we're gonna do a little bit of pop. That's cool. We gotta talk about this R&B first. We gotta talk about R&B first. This year's Grammys, R&B is coming back with an absolute vengeance. Back with a vengeance. For everybody that did watch, you understand exactly what I'm saying. For those who didn't watch, I advise you, because I'm pretty sure that the episode, the whole Grammys, is going to be on YouTube within a day or so. I advise you to really, really, really dig in and just see the great evolution of our R&B music for the past 6 years. You know what I mean? There have been, it's been a drought for a long time. And I'm not saying it's a drought like it was never no good R&B music for the past like 10 years or so. But what I mean is there was not a lot of attention being paid to our R&B music. You know what I mean? There was a little bit of energy for the melodic performances, of course, and we'll talk about that. But when it comes to traditional R&B, real R&B music, music about love, music about relationships, music about really connecting, awards for R&B music, I'm talking about real acknowledgement. There were so many awards given out this year for great R&B music. Not just good, and not just because, oh, they have to go ahead and give somebody an award. They gotta make, somebody gotta win. No, not that. I'm talking about you deserve this. You deserve this. First, I'm gonna give a big shout out to Kehlani for winning. If I'm not mistaken, she won Best R&B Performance for Folded, and she also won Best R&B Song for Folded. Top notch. Although, in my brain, just gonna be honest, I wanted I wanted Summer Walker, Heart of a Woman, to win at least one of those categories because I felt like both of them put in an exceptional year. They both had exceptional songs and projects, and I wanted Summer Walker to get one. But if I have to be honest, Folded is the better song. Folded is the R&B representation of the last year. It's real. And also people have to realize, like, when there's, these Grammy voters and these categories, first it has to have enough votes for your song to get in every category. You have to have enough votes to get in the category to be nominated. But then when it comes down to picking a winner, and I'm just speculating because I don't know the actual process of how they pick, but I would assume, just off of, if you do your research in the past, 30 years or so of, Grammy winners, or since the Grammy's been out, you can almost, if you go back and just look at those different categories and you look at the songs that won, you would see that these particular songs are usually the records that have been either dominant in that category for that past year, or the song is a direct reflection of the song of that style of song in that genre for that year. Like it represents what that past year was about. And I think that Folded by Kehlani is a great representation of the energy of R&B music and the relationships and what women have been going through for that past year or two. It's a real thing. I believe Heart of a Woman is also a record like that. But I mean, Folded, gotta be honest, is the better record. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you got another elite artist. You have another elite artist in Leon Thomas. I don't think Leon Thomas gets enough praise. I don't think he gets enough praise in his field of songwriting, singing, performing, even production. Like the man can record himself and make fire. Like he's pretty much a one-stop shop. Leon Thomas has been putting in he's been putting in his efforts and his time ever since the Disney days. He's not new to this, but he's new in the concept of he's taking the energy and putting it on himself for his R&B career. And he's made an exceptional album. Mutt is an exceptional album because he won Best R&B album for Mutt. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he won Best R&B album for Mutt. He's also won, I believe he won like a best, uh, it was like Best R&B traditional or something like that for the Vibes record that he put out, and he won. So he got two Grammys. Um, the first Grammy he got with the Vibes record, his mom and I believe his auntie came up to accept the award because Leon was literally getting to the event and he hasn't, I believe he was at rehearsal for the event because he had to perform. Of course, you see the performance; it was fire, and he didn't accept the first award, but when he came to accept the second award, you know, he felt fulfilled. Like not all the way like it's like he's fulfilled and it's over. Like he felt like all the work that he's been putting in led to that particular moment, and it lets not only himself inside know that he's arrived in his rightful place, but it also let the entire industry understand that he is here. He is here to stay. And we haven't even gotten to the official side of Leon Thomas songwriting, like really songwriting for elite artist albums. We haven't even I don't think he even grazed that side yet. You know what I mean? Last point I'll make about Leon Thomas, and we'll move on because R&B got a big day today at the Grammys. Leon Thomas in the search, you know, I guess probably like 2 years ago or so, might even be three. In the search of finding a home to do his music, and what I mean by home is, you get signed, artists like him, you try to find a situation where not only, you know, of course you're gonna get some money, but it's mainly about the representation from the team that you're gonna get and build. He wanted to find a home so he can become himself. I don't think you understand what I mean. He found a home so he can become himself, so he can do the music that he wants to do, so he can enjoy the journey with people who believe in his artistry and believe in the things that he can do along with himself. You know, a team that understands that although they may not have all the money in the world, they have all the belief in the world, and they will, do everything in their power to get Leon where he needs to go. And that team was none other than Ty Dolla Sign and Sean Berrien. You know what I'm saying? Sean Berrien, I'm sorry if I'm messing up his name. Sean Berrien is a very young A&R and entrepreneur and manager, and he's done so many He's been a part of so many phenomenal projects, and we all know who Ty Dolla Sign is. You know what I'm saying? We all know Ty. Shout out to Ty. That's my guy. I've had the pleasure of doing some records with him. You know what I'm saying? Great, great soul. Great, great soul. And Ty Dolla Sign and Sean Barron's label. I forgot the name of the label. Let me know in the comments what's the name of the label. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about it. But Leon Thomas signed to Ty Dolla Sign with the intent that they're going to do some amazing things in this world. And this year's Grammys was a reflection of that. Winning two Grammys on your first go round with your team. And I'm not gonna say that they're fully independent. I believe that they do have backing in terms of a distribution type of situation. But all the while, they're a small team and they're new to the game in terms of the company approaching themselves in the music industry. They're not new. They're pretty much veterans in terms of all of them have experience with making greatness and doing great things. But this is a new venture that they've put themselves into, and it's paid off big by winning two Grammys. You know what I'm saying? For 2026, and that's fire. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and move on. Um, Samara Joy, you know what I'm saying? Samara Joy got a Grammy for the best vocal jazz album, which is fire. You know what I'm saying? Jazz is the cousin of R&B, probably more so the auntie and uncle of R&B. And Samara Joy is just a great, great artist. Her album Portrait is just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. I don't have too much to say, but just go listen. Just go listen. You will find yourself in her album. You will find yourself in her album. You know what I'm saying? Fire. One of the highlights, one of the highlights of the night. You know what I mean? Is coming from um, a new artist, probably new to a lot of other people, and new to me as well because I got wind of this particular artist from a couple of my homegirls. You know what I'm saying? And I think um, I watched his Tiny Desk, and he was going crazy on his Tiny Desk. His voice is phenomenal. He do his thing. I believe his name is uh uh Brandon. You know what? Let me not even do that. Let me not even mess his name up, and let me go ahead and look up his name. Y'all can spare me a couple of seconds, really quick. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second, because I really want to talk about this gentleman's hard work and road to success. Hold on 1 second. Let me find out. Y'all can hold on. Y'all can see me typing in my phone because I'm finna find this gentleman's name. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and this is why I say R&B is a great thing. You know what I mean? R&B categories. If I'm not mistaken, he won a Grammy for best R&B traditional album. You know what I mean? Best R&B traditional album. And his name is Duran Bernard. His name is Duran Bernard. Thank you, everybody, for waiting while I get his name because I don't want to mess up or butcher his name. His name is Duran Bernard, and he got the best best traditional R&B um, R&B album. You know what I mean? And he did his thing. He did his thing. Like, I haven't listened to the album yet, and I will eventually. But when he got on stage, his story was great. The way he approached it, he was, of course, he was flamboyant. He was happy. Him and his friend, he was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like R&B is a collection of so many different walks of life, so many styles, so many flavors. You know what I'm saying? So many approaches, and also so many stories of how hard it is to break through in R&B, how hard it is to become the person you need to become in order to break through, in order to win a Grammy, in order to have a great record. Like that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? That is a real thing. And you know, it was almost like the kid in him came out when he was running on stage and he was, giving a speech and everything. And salute to him. I was able to watch his tiny desk and it was fire. I'm going to tune into a little bit more of his music and check it out. But collectively, just Duran Bernard, you know, Leon Thomas, you know, even Kehlani. There was Chris Brown. There was so many different other people that didn't win as well. That just exudes great R&B music. You know what I'm saying? On the gospel side, best gospel album. Like I'm not a heavy gospel music fan, but I'm getting into enjoying a lot more gospel music. And I came across listening to a gospel album called Heart of Mine by Darrell Walls and PJ Morton. Now, I got wind of that album because I follow PJ Morton and his music and what he's done. You know what I'm saying? I actually love PJ Morton's record with Raekwon that they did for like a soundtrack. It's called Get That Dough. It was fire. PJ did the hook. But I listen to a lot of PJ music. He's fire. And then he did a joint venture project with Darrell Walls, you know what I mean? And I believe Walls has a history in the gospel community, the Walls family, you know what I mean? I'll do a little bit more research about that family because I've heard stories, but I just don't know. But I listened to that album, Heart of Mine. A lot of emotions in that album, man. A lot of emotions in that album. Don't go through nothing and listen to the album and think you're not finna shed a tear. Don't go through nothing while you listening to the Daryl Walls and PJ Morton album and think you're not finna shed a tear. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do a different blog just on probably just that album because we got some things to talk about for sure. All in all, was a great time for R&B. There was a lot of other great things, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Kehlani saying fuck Ice, because yes, fuck Ice for sure. You know what I'm saying? SZA winning her awards, of course, for Luther, you know what I mean? Shout out to that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Um, R&B is everywhere. I mean, to be honest, even the melodic performance categories, I attribute that to R&B. I'm sorry. I don't attribute that to rap. I attribute all of the melodic performance, melodic song categories. That's R&B, yo. Put that into the R&B category. Let that live right there. Why not? Because majority of it, I'm not saying all, but majority of it is R&B. It's the flavors, it's the cadence, it's the approach, it's the energy. It's getting the artist to sing, to come from their soul. That's R&B. So they winning more Grammys than we even think. You know what I'm saying? All in all, this is a great start for the Grammys incorporating great R&B music. I think they selected the categories right. I don't know if there's an album that they may have missed in some of the R&B categories, but leave it in the comments. If y'all think an album was supposed to be at least nominated or in the categories, please put it in the comments. Now, let's get to the rap shit. Let's get to the rap shit. I'm sorry, I might be demonetized because I'm cussing, but hey, man, this is my culture. I gotta say it. I gotta talk about it. In my opinion, I think the Grammys got it right with hip hop this year. I gotta be honest. I think the Grammys got it right with hip hop this year. There may have been one or two hiccups. I don't know. I gotta watch it again. But they got it right. First, let's talk about the clips. We're gonna get to Dot. We're gonna get the K Dot. We gonna get the Kendrick Lamar. We gonna get the Kung Fu Kenny. Don't worry about that. Let's talk about Clips. First off, Clips got nominated for 5 Grammys. So first, salute to them for even getting nominated 5 times. They deserve that. They deserved it. Remember, when we first heard the inkling of the Clips coming back for another album, I'm not gonna lie, me and a lot of other people was like, oh, dope, Clips coming back, fire. Pusha T, fire. We're trying to see where Mattis is gonna be as far as where his head is at. We still haven't quite understood his approach to lyricism after he, quit the Clips group and decided to go more religious. And it's not nothing against it because I'm glad he did that. I'm just saying that a lot of hip hop fans don't understand how that approach can come together and work when you leave from one extreme to the next. It has happened a bunch of times, but for some reason, we just be feeling icky about it. But it's okay. When the album dropped, not only were we very pleased, surprised in a sense, only because when a group is on that hiatus for so long, and especially have been apart and on their separate paths, it's very difficult for them to gain their synergy back. But not only did they get their synergy back, they got a chance to fully be engulfed with Pharrell once again. And this is not Pharrell in the beginning of trying to become who he is. This is Pharrell. Himothy. Big Pharrell. This is him in its purest form. One thing that's great about the Clips linking up with Pharrell at that time, 2 things, and I talked about this before. Number 1, you got Pharrell in its prime. Not only are you guys the greatest of friends, but you got this man in his prime. And he hasn't put out an album in years. So now you got his hunger. You got Pharrell at his prime. You got Pharrell that's hungry. And last but not least, I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Pharrell was like, yo, let's get to it because I got something to prove to everybody when it comes to hip-hop shit. Pharrell been letting all y'all do all y'all hip-hop shit. He been sitting back, I'm so happy, doing eclectic stuff, working on fashion. He see all the groups and all the artists doing gutter hip-hop stuff, knowing that Virginia has a very big part in gritty hip-hop, in the truest, rawest form of the hip-hop scene. He knows that Virginia needs to be respected almost just as much as New York and North Carolina and all these other places. So he like, I got something to show everybody. That Virginia, once again, will be mentioned among the elites. And I'm going to do it with the guys I started with. I'm going to do it with the guys I started with and make this album. Let God sort them out. That album, 9.5 out of 10. The only reason why it's a 9.5 and it's not a 10 is because of one record I felt like sound like some Mace type of stuff, but I don't feel like the beat was executed well. But who am I? That's Pharrell. Who am I? It's really a 10. I'll just give it a 9.5. Hey, sue me. All in all, the Clips gave us a phenomenal album, the best rollout of last year, aside from Kendrick. Let's not talk about Kendrick. The best rollout of last year, the best visuals, and some elite rapping, especially for Malice, elite rapping. And they get a Grammy this year for this. They got, out of the 5 nominations, they got best rap performance. They got best rap performance, if I'm not mistaken. Best rap performance. They deserve that. For the song Whips and Chains, they got a Grammy for Whips and Chains featuring Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar did his thing, but boy, when I tell you, Pusha T and Malice went overboard. They deserve it. Remember, we went from, oh, the clip's coming back. Hey, great. I can't wait to hear some new music, to, no, it is possible for a group to not be together for 20 years, come back, do some legendary shit, and win a Grammy. The highest level of accomplishment besides going diamond is a Grammy. And they obtain that before the Clip's official group is over. They came back to accomplish more. Thank you. I don't think we can say that enough. Clips, Pusha, Malice, thank you for coming back. Thank you for dropping another album. Thank you for giving us great visuals. Thank you for showing us what true hip hop can still be like, can still exist, can still be in the midst of the next 10 to 20 years. Thank you. Y'all deserve that. And y'all came with with the Louis Vuitton, with Pharrell, and the swag, and the Grammys. They all three with the pink on, with the shades, they shining. Come on, that's what hip hop is about. From the bottom to the top, why not? If y'all give us another album, I'll be so grateful. I'll be so grateful. We waiting on it, y'all. Also, Doechii, Anxiety. What we talking about? Best music video. As if anybody was going to argue with that. Doechii is one of those artists that we will have to apologize a bunch of times for not seeing her greatness early. Not me, I'm talking about y'all. I'm talking about all of y'all. I'm talking about all y'all. Y'all gonna have to apologize when y'all fully see the true and living potential of Doechii. She's on her way, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. All that, I'm not even gonna say the term that y'all use against her. I'm not even gonna say that. What I will say is, you will eat your words. Even though it's 2 words, you're gonna eat them. Doechii is fire. The Anxiety is fire. You're gonna hear that Anxiety record in a lot more commercials, in a lot more movies, in a lot more PSAs. It's a real thing. She deserves that. And she haven't even done more collaborations. She hasn't done a bunch of other features. Like, it's on its way. Everything is on its way for Doechii. It's on its way. Respect it. On top of that, now we got to talk about Dot. We got to talk about Kendrick. I'm not going to say his rap battle opponent's name, but what I will say is, if this is not the greatest victory in the history of music, I don't know what is. Kendrick Lamar is now the winningest Grammy, the most wins in Grammy history for a rapper. He beat out Jay-Z, Sean Carter. Much respect to Jay-Z, still my favorite rapper. Second favorite rapper, because Raekwon is my first favorite rapper. So second favorite rapper. But he got beat out by Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has more Grammys than him. And I actually think that one day that they're going to both call each other and just laugh about it, because 2 rappers got the most Grammys in history of... I mean, what we talking about? What we talking about? Two rappers got the most Grammys in the history of Grammy getting. If that's even a thing. What are we talking about? Kendrick is winning left and right. It's nothing you can say about it. He has constantly, for the past 10, 15 years, put out stellar projects, stellar work, stellar videos, stellar performances, stellar albums, stellar songs. It's what he does. Not to mention, shout out to Soundwave for getting a lot of screen time on stage, man. Because I don't think y'all understand. There will be an interview or a documentary on Soundwave on how hard Soundwave has worked. If you don't know Soundwave, he is the one of the producers from TDE. And when I tell you how hard Soundwave works, he works hard. That boy is phenomenal. Shout out to DJ Mustard. Shout out to DJ Mustard, another producer. We all know who Mustard is. We all know what he's been doing. But to come back on the scene and give Dot TV off, Not Like Us, these other records, it just lets you know how much in sync these guys are, these guys and gals, how much in sync they are, how great of a feat this is. Kendrick has undoubtedly dominated the Grammys for years. The one thing that I love about this year's Grammys, and I'll close it out with this because I'm going to do a different blog on just Dot alone. The one thing I love about these Grammys this year is that people are diving into the music. They're diving into the albums. And they're selecting the people who are not just the most popular, but that's putting out stellar music and work. That's what the Grammys is for. The Grammys is for the elite level of music. Doesn't matter what genre. The Sinners won 2 Grammys. Best score soundtrack for Sinners. Best soundtrack for Sinners. 2 different things. The score is the mood music, the dramatic tension, the composing on the movie. The soundtrack is the actual movie. The soundtrack is the actual music that's in the movie. The songs that have been made for the movie. They won 2 Grammys. I think 3 if I'm not mistaken. For Best Engineering. Bad Bunny won 2 Grammys. Plus Album of the Year, the top Grammy. The best #1 Grammy you could ever get, Album of the Year. Bad Bunny, he's doing a Super Bowl coming. All well deserved. That man's music is phenomenal. I can't understand a word he's saying because I don't know Spanish. But it's just as infectious, even though I don't know the language. Lady Gaga, best vocal pop album. Well deserved. You know what Lady Gaga do. You know what she do. What I will say is we're on the right path in the Recording Academy. They're doing the right things. I believe that a lot of the people who got to be voters for the past couple of years are coming together, working with the Recording Academy. They're all making this thing something that's needed. Everybody got their shine today, even the people who didn't win. Shout out to my boy Isaac. He was nominated for a Grammy. He'll get one eventually. Shout out to him. Shout out to all the nominees that's working hard on these projects. And most importantly, shout out to the engineers and the producers. Shout out to the engineers and producers. When you look at those nominees, they most likely always put the mixing and mastering engineer on the credits when they're speaking who won and who's been nominated. I will be on that Grammy stage one day winning a Grammy. I don't know what for, but it's going to happen. Local astronauts will win a Grammy. It's going to happen. Because number one, we make stellar music like that as well. Number two, the Grammy Academy is doing the music industry justice for what they can do right now. There's still more to work on, like Jay-Z said. There's still more to work on. But let's start there. Let's start there. I'm going to get out of here, man. I just want to say shout out to everybody that's working hard and doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's all continue to thrive to get music where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep this thing rolling. Let's keep this thing alive. I was very pleased to watch. I watched the whole Grammys this year. I watched the entire thing. I like where it's going, and let's keep it going there. For real. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.